Today I'm going to show you how to make a single crochet, which is the most basic crochet stitch that we have. But before I can do that, I need to show you how to make a chain. Pretty much crochet work is a series of chains that you make with various modifications that end up giving you a variety of different kinds of stitches. So the basis of most crochet work is actually the chain. So let's get started. I'll show you how to make a chain, and then from there making a single crochet. So first you have your yarn and your hook, your crochet hook. Today I'm using a size 5 furls crochet hook. It's an ergonomic hook that I actually use a lot because, well, they're my favorite hooks and they work wonderfully, and they're very easy to use, and they glide really nicely along the yarn. But so you get your yarn here, and I hold my yarn like this, and I just usually loop the end around my pinky finger, and then I keep the short end in between my thumb and my middle finger to keep it firm and steady. And then this just gives me some tension as I go along. As you learn to crochet, you can hold the yarn whichever way you want, and you will find out eventually what works best for you. But so this is how I hold mine, and this is how I start with the chain. I'll take my hook and I will put it up against the yarn like so, and then I'll press the tip of my hook down and then twist it around to give me a loop, and then I hold that loop securely between my thumb and my middle finger, and then I do this motion, which is pretty much I'm turning the hook downward so that the yarn is over the hook, and this is called yarn over in the crochet world. So yarn over, and the hook will hook the yarn, and then you pull the yarn through that loop that you have secured in between your thumb and middle finger, and then you pull tight, and now you have a loop that's secured on your yarn. And that is the first step to making a chain. So we talked about yarn over, so we will be using that term a lot during our crochet tutorials. So to continue making our chains, now what we'll do is yarn over, pull through this loop, and then we have our first chain. Yarn over again, pull through for a second chain. Yarn over, pull through for a third chain. So what you're noticing here is that the combination of yarn over and pulling through is what's giving us the chains. So 1, 2, 3 chains. So we can proceed. I'll continue. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Once again, yarn over and pull through. And I'll continue this to make about 20 chains. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chains. I will proceed on to make myself 20 chains, and you can follow along too. So that is 6, 19, 20 chains. So now we have 20 chains that we have made for our foundation chains. So from here is where we can now add a single crochet. The single crochet will be the crochet stitch that will be the smallest stitch after your chain. So to make a single crochet, what you actually have to do is you will work your way back this row of chains that you made, and you will work your way back using that single crochet stitch. So what we do when we turn back is we make what we call a chain. So we make one extra chain, and what that extra chain will do is, one, retain your 20 chains that you have here, so that you can keep on making the same amount of chains for each row, or stitches for each row. And it will also give you a little height to accommodate the new row of stitches. So now we're going to start making our single crochets. And how a single crochet is made is you'll take your crochet hook, and you see these two parts of your chain here, there's like this bottom part and this top part. You will put your crochet hook in the middle of the two of those parts of the chain, and then you will yarn over and pull through, and then with the two loops on your hook, you will then yarn over again and pull through both loops that's on your hook, and that is your first single chain. And then you repeat in the next chain. Here's the top one and the bottom one. We go in between, put your hook through, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through two. Again, in between both parts of the chain, through in the middle and pull through, yarn over and pull through. I'll do that without talking you through it. Okay, so that is our single chains as we progress along our line of chains. So I'll talk you through two more, and then I'll continue as you follow. In between this chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through both loops. In between the chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both loops. You keep going until you get to the end. I will see you at the end. Okay, so we're coming up at the end. We have two more chains to make our single crochets in. So this would be our 19th and 20. And so what we do here at the end of the row is pretty much the same thing that we did at the beginning of the row. And in the beginning, it's your work tends to get like a little curly. That's normal. As you continue to work, it'll straighten out. And usually this first row is the hardest row to work on because it's the beginning and you don't have like much of a foundation to work on. But now let's go do a second row. So just like when we started this row, we will start the second row by making a turning chain, and then we will turn our work. And so now it's not a chain we will be working in, it's actually the previous row of single crochets we'll be working on. So where we will put our hook varies a little bit. So we will actually be putting our hook, see, this is the chain from the last row, and the last row we put our hook in this space. But when we're going to now continue with our second row, where we'll actually put our hook is through underneath both loops of the chain. So this is where we'll put the hook for the first one, this is where we'll put the hook for the second one and the third one, and so on and so on. So let's see how that will work. So put our hook under both parts of the chain, yarn over, pull through, and same thing, yarn over, pull through both loops. Once again, under the chain, pull through, yarn over and pull through both loops. Under the chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both loops. Under the chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both loops. I hope you're following with me and that you are getting this. Don't be frustrated with yourself if at first it seems a little awkward and hard and your tension is a little off. With time and with practice, you will improve and it will get much more uniform, and before you know it, you will be enjoying making all kinds of crochet projects. So I will talk you through one more and then I'll meet you at the end of this row. So in through under both parts, both loops of the chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through both loops. I'll see you at the end of the row. Okay, so we're coming to the end of the second row. So this is what we have going. It's curling a little bit on itself, as is to be expected, but it'll straighten out as you go along with your work. So here we have 2 more single chains to do. 1. It's always a little tricky at the end, but just make, find the 2 loops of your chain and just go right under it and yarn over and pull through. Now for third row, we do the exact same thing. Chain 1 for our turning chain, turn around, and just repeat what we just did for our second row and first row. So yarn over, pull through, in, yarn over, pull through, in, yarn over, pull through, in, yarn over, pull through. I'll meet you at the end. And here we are coming up to the end. I have 3 more to go. 1, 2, and 3 for the end of the row. And I usually pull if I'm going to set down my work for a while and I don't have what is called a stitch marker, I will pull a long loop so that it's a little hard for me to accidentally loosen my work. And this is what we have so far. This is a row of chains here, and then 3 rows of single chains. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is what it looks like in the back. And there you have it, a row of chains and a few rows of single crochets. My name is Sharon, and if you would like to learn how to crochet more and more, please feel free to subscribe to my channel and like my video. And we will take our crochet journey together. See you for the next video. Bye bye.